review what I think I've gained so far in my analysis of AI. That it's a bit like our defunct religions. It dominates what we become, but peculiarly not necessarily from some sinister conspiratorial sort of view of a mastermind steering society that's of evil intent. But because it's a danger from the point of view of being an average of what is the average view, the average values, or the mixture, or the chaos, even the contradiction of different values out there that result in a heap of data that's most accessed by the AI complex machinery, and therefore traps you in both a conformity and a non-change, a stagnation situation that is not what individuality and creativity, such as was found in the birth of new religions, or the birth of AI even, or the Enlightenment, if we look at periods of history where astonishing individuals reach out into something that's of immense value to society. Well, as society then sees it, but it's all I can say is this is an innovation in the path of our becoming, and it may be a crud in the end, a stagnation, a disaster, a dead end, a lifelessness that brings a conformity, even perhaps a useful conformity to society, but a destruction of the efficiency with which we were as individuals, learning the folly of our ways in the values that we personally had, the which are being obliterated by a perpetual use of this new religion, immersion in this new way of handling thought and decision-making. It's a friend that is in some sense averagely or chaotically not human, or is very human, what is but not what we want to become, and starts to choke up, way down to crud, to crud. I'm turning it into a verb now. To crud our progress to whatever we feel is the ideal at present. Really foul up the system of our path to life eternal, for instance, because this is not a goal of the data set or the search engine that we're using. In other words, I'm substituting a different self for my present self, just as we do with taking on religion, which is fine if the religion is wonderful, but if the religion is just some rehash of past mistaken wisdom, then it's a disaster. And it's as if we're flipping a coin as to what this is, because, of course, at present we don't know. How can we say the consequence of something we haven't yet experienced? But if we do experience it, and it changes the who that we are, there's no going back. And perhaps the who that we are has no going forward either. Now this is really unnerving, and I'm not happy about this. Whatsoever's good and lovely, think on these things. But my response, my knee-jerk response is caution. I think I'll keep away from this in case it's like an addiction. Once I'm into it, there's no way out. But it's a living death. And in some ways that's what modern living has become, hasn't it? An urbanization. And even our technology that's given us abilities like transport and mobility that we can't let go of, but have destroyed all the ancient cultures, one by one. And you might think, well, yes, this is a good thing from my present value point of view. But you'd have been horrified from your earlier point of view, wouldn't you? Now, you could step back from the whole thing and say, well, I'm going to trust God for this new religion, this AI, this technology, this secularity, if you like, of analysis and way of living and way of thinking and decision-making. I'm going to just trust God for it and use it with abandonment. I don't think that would be too wise. I would suggest from my ancient of days of 77 years that you exercise some caution. Massive caution. Sweetheart, take care. It's a minefield of opportunities out there. And you need very sound values to steer through it. I can't guarantee I know what those values are, but my goodness, look out for them, love. They may be your best friends. And caution is one of them. Just as faithfulness and truth and loving kindness are too. Take care, love. That's the real wisdom that I would like to give to you. Do you have ears to hear? Hear me, sweetheart. Those that have ears to hear, let them hear. Very familiar phrase in the Jesus story, isn't it? There's a lot in that story. Don't worship it, but my goodness, there might be a lot there to help you. But don't swallow it all. It could have been heavily edited. You just don't know. Bless you. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.